Programmers.io is an IT services company. We support global enterprises with staff augmentation and project-based development work. If I remember right, it was a cold call where they called us, and we get a lot of these, but just like the tone and the voice and that it was different, and so we decided to hear them out, and I think that's how we heard about them. We worked with a number of different companies like Bridgeworld, and we always like to experiment and try and just pull the best of what we can. And so I think we were working with another vendor at the time, and our goal was just to get additional leads. Some of the vendors that we worked with, we got a lot of meetings, but we got a lot of no-shows. And so really what we were looking for is just hopefully a better quality provider. The volume doesn't matter if you don't get anybody to actually show up, or if those that do show up are qualified. Since COVID, everything has changed, and we're all trying different things, but a lot of people just started blasting emails. And as a result of that, there's like this all-out war with Microsoft and Google to try and stop spam. So it's this ever-evolving fight to get emails in an inbox. But with phone calls, it's just a numbers game, and it's a little harder to block a phone call. And where Bridgeworld, their primary focus is effective cold calling, their results got better, or their results were better. That's a good question. I think a lot of what the difference was just the quality. Skiva and her team, you can tell they're used to working with Fortune 1000 organizations. It's anybody can cold call and into kind of smaller mom and pop operations, but it's a different skill set if you're calling into global enterprises, and you have to have the right charisma, tone, content to make that work. And they were great, and still are. They were able to get right out of the gates meetings with large organizations, and it was really impressive. One of the things that I liked that Bridgeworld did different from some of the other vendors that we work with is the follow-up surveys after the fact to try and just confirm the quality of the call. And in fact, we incorporated that into all of our normal processes. Just on any lead, is how good was the meeting, score it, the types of interest that was there. And Skiva used it as a quality control within her organization, and it really helped to make a difference. They had us fill out a market survey to get an understanding of who we were going after and some of the content approaches that we were trying. It didn't take them too long to figure out our messaging and positioning. And then whatever secret sauce they got, they started getting meetings within a week or two of hitting the phones. And so just to get started, it was, I think, a call or two, just Q&A, so that they could get a sense of how to position what we were selling. It was fairly simple. I just said, hey, I know we're all trying to get more leads, and we've invested in a professional organization that specializes in meeting sets, and we want you to work with them, and they'll help you. And we actually incorporated them, Skiva, in with our contact management solution, HubSpot, and the sales rep started tag teaming with Skiva's team and all of her, BDRs. So people knew what was going on. Sometimes the rep would say, hey, I had a good meeting with them a while ago, but I can't get them back on the phone. Can you or one of your people try? And so it was a very good collaborative teamwork between them and our team. It really just became an extension of what we were doing. I don't think of it as one campaign or another. They've been with us for a long time, and we try an approach, and then we try another approach and try another approach and see. Really, it's just a matter of what targets are working and not. And we'd meet weekly to discuss what's working and what's not, and we'd make adjustments along the way. So for me, it was just one continual improvement process. So we did have specific strategies and campaigns we were targeting, but it was just very collaborative. And in addition to that, even if we were to get a meeting and the reps took that and ran with it, Skiva and the team would still continue to watch. And if the reps dropped the ball, she'd let me know, and we'd either bring her back in to get another meeting, or we'd go prod the rep. And so it wasn't just about getting the meeting set and leaving. She wanted to make sure that we were getting close business, because ultimately she knows that's what's going to drive things. I think it's over 2 years or close to 2 years now. Well, I would recommend it for sure. And what I would tell them is just give them your hardest target list and just see what they do, because I think you'll be surprised with how effective they are being able to get people on the phone. I'd go between either effective or reliable, one of the two, simply because if there was a target and if there was somebody that I needed to get on the phone, I knew if I gave it to Skiva and her team, they'd get them. It might take a week or two, but they'd figure out, I don't know how she's getting whatever number she's getting, but she figure out how to get there and get them on the phone, and they'd be their friend after a minute or two and trust them and sign up for a meeting. So. Skiva's a really nice person as a person. It's one thing to do business with people and it's a business transaction, but she's a good person as well and fun to work with, which with us and our company is a big factor in who we add to the team, because life is short, and if you're going to be working with vendors, you may as well enjoy the process. So